I've been working on the TheHootRide for about 8 years. Uh, Basically, it's been a lot of people trying to help me get it started up, and people not being reliable, people coming in and trying to take over things or thinking that it's really their idea when in reality TheHootRide's been mine since the beginning. The idea for TheHootRide kind of came from me and my friends when we were younger. We had no place to go to smoke weed, in all honesty, and we would go out on hoots, which was basically getting in my buddy's car and driving around to smoke. Well, me and my buddy are kind of weird, and we would always try to come up with new business ideas, music videos, this, that, and the other, and I was like, why don't we actually start doing this? And it kind of progressed from there. I wouldn't say that my role has changed with TheHootRide since it started. I've kind of always been the CEO, manager, owner, whatever. I've always been trying to get this up and running, and I'm always the person who is in charge of everything, has all the ideas, and knows where to go next. The TheHootRide legitimately started when I had a couple friends who really needed a recording studio and didn't have the money for it, and I just so happened to have all the equipment and went out to Guitar Center when I finally got my tax return and got better equipment, built a sound booth, and we started a recording studio, and it started from there. Since I've started the company, it has progressed from just a recording studio to a t-shirt company, a clothing line, then more or less became a design company, and then was just basically trying to feel out exactly what I wanted to do. But since I have multiple different talents, whether it's music, graphic design, which that came with the clothing line, I don't know, I didn't really know where to go with this, so I tried to do everything because I could. And since I was a little kid, I've never had that person to say, hey, I can show you how to do this, or we only do this one thing, but then you need to go to these guys so they can do the rest. So I had to figure it out by myself because I didn't have that money. I grew up pretty poor with hand-me-down equipment, and I had to figure out how I was going to do it with what I had. The biggest challenge I have being the owner of the company is simply finding the people who are going to stick with me and understand that this is a very, very brand new startup company. We're the only ones in the world actually who are doing this right now. Not one other company is doing this. And I guess for me, it's doing all the business part by myself, the paperwork, the LLC, and then changing it to being incorporated, and then also being the photographer and the graphic design. All this on my plate gets very, very stressful and overwhelming, and simply the most challenging part about it is keeping my mind right, staying on track, and getting enough rest. My favorite part about being the business owner is watching it progress from just that little recording studio that it began with until what it's progressed to today. And I never thought it'd become what it is today, but that is definitely my favorite part. And I can also say that, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is where it's going, and look how successful we are. Some of the new products we have, if you go to the apparel page on the website, we're going to be releasing all those shirt designs relatively soon. It's just been a huge process. We also are starting our own custom rave apparel, which there's been a lot of people that have been rave girls who have come in and they just tell me all these little issues with their apparel. So I was like, why don't we correct all those issues and do that ourselves? So with that being said, we also are going to be selling like the glow sticks and all that kind of stuff. We also have the t-shirts, as I said before. We will be producing and recording music down the line. And then other things we have are photography services. We're going to be a modeling agency, which, I mean, everyone knows that's kind of what we're doing right now, but we're not like other companies, and there's going to be a lot more that came from. What gets me most excited about the company's future is seeing how far we're actually going to go and how many different avenues we're going to get into, because everything that I've mentioned in this video is only scratching the surface. If you're here and on the team and have listened to me go on my very famous rants, you understand how far this is going to go and how flawless my plan is as of right now. But basically, in the future, you will see TheHootRide everywhere. How I got the idea for each product and project that we have gotten into as far as today has simply been, hey, I think this is kind of cool, but that's not my world. I don't really know about it. And it's people coming in randomly who just have that talent or love or passion for this certain thing. For example, our model Zelda has always wanted to make custom rave apparel, and I've tried this before with another person who couldn't finish a project to save their life, and Zelda is beyond passionate about it, and I ended up getting her a sewing machine and basically said, you have no reason not to do this now, let's go ahead and run with it. For the music, I've always been producing and recording music. That's how I kind of started this company. With apparel, I play in Photoshop all day, every day. It's one of my horrible addictions, I could say. From there, it's mainly people coming together and giving me that slight idea of, hey, we could do this, and we run with it. TheHootRide's main goal as an industry is literally taking over every media network, I guess you would say, and getting into every possible entertainment avenue there is, and everything else that we can take over, I suppose. The team that you would be working with if we do sign you on to the company, whether you're just a model, so on and so forth, Miss Anna, she is the modeling manager as of right now. She likes to reach out and find alternative models and bring them in because no one else is accepting them, so why not us? She's very, very friendly. She'll make you feel very, very comfortable in any awkward situation, because all of us here are awkward and we don't like anyone feeling that way. So she's definitely a great teacher when it comes to all that, and has a lot of great stories to kind of motivate you and get you past that. Zelda is a breath of fresh air, I guess you would say, or a non-stop talking person. She makes you just feel light and bubbly all the time, just makes you feel warm and at home, I would say. Working with me, I mean, I guess this is only my opinion, but I push you to do exactly what you love to do, and why not do that and have all of us work together doing what we love and getting paid for it? Why not? Other people in the company you may or may not see so often, but everyone is welcoming, the best friends you could ever have, and you're simply gonna love working with each and every one of us equally. The team definitely will hang out outside of work, which I wouldn't consider it being outside of work because we're always working, always. But it's all of our passions, so it doesn't really feel like work to us. So when we're just hanging out, we're talking about it, and when we're working, we feel like we're just hanging out. That's the best way I can describe it. Our team culture here is the most random, weird group of people that you'll ever meet, but the best friends you can ever have. The best type of personalities that work out here at TheHootRide, if you're weird, outside of the box, crazy, mentally ill. We're all a bunch of weirdos and messed up in the head a little bit. And slightly crazy. And yeah, so if you fit into that category, definitely come work with us, because we're all misfits and we all have horrible pasts that kind of made us stay in our houses and not do anything but our little things that we love. And now we're all just hanging out together doing that. It's perfect. The best way to get your foot in the door at the TheHootRide is simply, if we reach out to you, communicate with us. Or if you have an idea or want to work with us, simply say, hey, what's up? I do this, this, and that. Can we start something? We will immediately get back to you. Well, let me take that back. Not immediately, as soon as we possibly can, but yeah, just reach out to us. We'll contact you. A typical day at the TheHootRide kind of looks like a plane crashing down into multiple interstates all at the same time, while a bunch of different dimensions of Metallica is all playing a hardcore metal band battling Death Clock. It's kind of like that on a good day. The reason why the TheHootRide is different from any other modeling company is simply we don't discriminate against anybody. We don't have any requirements, like you don't have to be a certain weight, a certain height, a certain color, a certain hair. The weirder you are, the more different you are, the better. That is exactly what we're looking for. I can't believe companies like Suicide Girls, for example, have you need to be, you know, big boobs, and you have to be naked all the time, and you have to be covered in tattoos as a requirement to keep sending them content before you even accept it. That's retarded. That is the most horrible business idea I have ever heard. And plus, they're looking for one type of model. Why would you continue to produce the same content over and over again? That's boring. I used to love Suicide Girls because, hey, alternative models, but same thing, same thing, same thing. Here at the TheHootRide, not one of our models is the same, not even a slight little bit. But they all mesh together perfectly. So the more different you are, the weirder you are, the better. And we accept everybody.